Hello, this is Will from the internet, and you are watching my review of the episode of SNL this weekend hosted by John Cena. Overall, I had high expectations going into this episode because I've really been enjoying SNL lately, and also because I think John Cena can be very funny in the right situations. Overall, I definitely ended up enjoying the episode. And while not every skit landed perfectly, there was definitely a lot more good than bad in the episode, and Cena himself was used very well, I thought. The show began with a cold open in which Kellyanne Conway, who I think has been played very well by Kate McKinnon this season, goes on CNN. I believe it was Jake Tapper's show to defend President-elect Donald Trump's pick of Walter White to be the new head of the DEA. Played by Bryan Cranston in a cameo. As someone who's not seen or taken the time to watch all of Breaking Bad myself, I thought this segment really struck a nice balance between referencing the show without over-referencing the show, if that makes sense. From there, we get into the monologue. While John Cena can definitely be funny, I don't think a traditional monologue would have been the best way to show off his comedic chops. So I was definitely intrigued when he teased a musical number. Of course, that's not ultimately the direction they went in, which is probably a good idea considering I think the last musical number that opened SNL was Lin-Manuel Miranda's opening monologue. And in my personal opinion, that was probably the best opening monologue this year so far. And regardless of how it would have been handled, I don't see a Cena musical number comparing to that. Unless he started rapping, then I guess all bets are off. Instead, we got our wrestling segment of the night as members of the SNL cast came out and cut promos on Cena. My favorite being Leslie Jones, who didn't need a character because she's Leslie Jones. The next skit of the night was one about a game show on MTV called Hook a Hunt, and John Cena played the host for the show. The joke being that the woman on the show falls for him instead of one of the contestants. Honestly, this one kind of fell flat for me, and I don't know quite what it was. Maybe because the joke was just a little too obvious. But I definitely don't think this skit was as strong as some of the other ones later in the night. The next couple of skits, though, were two of my favorites. The next one was the Karate Teen one, which I thought was very funny. Really, I found it quite enjoyable seeing Cena be a jerk for the entire skit. And then the next skit after that was the one about the star football player from the University of Alabama taking his finals. And as a college student in an SEC school, I really thought every part of this joke landed, and it was just really funny in my opinion. After that was the return of Dyke and Fats on Detective TV, a skit that I think premiered in an episode of SNL hosted by Louis C.K. I'm not sure if it's come back since then. I don't think it has. It was funny, not anything really special in my opinion. After that is the first Maren Morris performance of the night. The SNL musical acts are weird to me because I think fans of SNL would probably find more episodes more enjoyable without a musical act. The reason being that, in my opinion, SNL is a certain type of humor, and just because you like a certain type of humor doesn't mean you'll like a certain type of music. And so people watching SNL have the same taste in comedy for the most part, but not necessarily in music, meaning that probably more often the musical act is a negative than a positive. I have the same opinion about musical acts in wrestling, and really think both SNL and wrestling would be improved by just kind of skipping musical segments. The Weekend Update came next, which is usually one of my favorite SNL skip segments, and this week was no different. It was really funny. I thought it had a lot of good jokes that landed well. There wasn't any Cena involvement in that, though. After that, there was the game show segment they had called Where Did Your Money Go?, which made fun of some professional athletes, Rob Gronkowski, and Conor McGregor, and golfer, who I do not remember at the moment. But I thought the segment was really funny and enjoyed the jokes. So I thought it was another strong segment. The segment after that was the one that was taking place through Donald Trump's eyes. I wondered if John Cena would be involved in any sort of political segments, considering Linda McMahon was actually named by Donald Trump to be the new head of the Small Business Association. I enjoyed the segment, though, and thought it was really good to get. After that was the second Maren Morris performance. See previous comments. The last two skits were the ones about the Scorched Corset bookstore and the United States of Talent. I don't know if it was just me or if it was because it was late in the show, but both of these segments really kind of fell flat for me. And overall, those are kind of my opinions. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and click the weird bell thingy to let YouTube and I know that you enjoyed it. And make sure that you know when new videos are coming out on this channel. You can also now follow this channel on Twitter at Will from the Net. Stay updated on new videos coming to this channel. Vote in polls and let me know what you would like to see going forward. I'm Will from the Internet. Thank you for watching.